What's up, everybody? This is Joshua Mudliar, and I'm so excited to be going live with you here today. I have such an amazing news for you today. We have an amazing guy named Reuben. I think it's Reuben Driedger. You correct me once I introduce him. Hopefully that's the right way to pronounce his name. But he is so super cool. This guy is an amazing entrepreneur. He's coached more than 500 entrepreneurs, a 7-figure business owner. He's helped entrepreneurs reach more than $10 million in sales. So I can't wait to actually have a conversation with him to see how he's done this. So let's give everybody give a round of a virtual applause, I guess, to Reuben. Let's see, Reuben, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I say this probably on like every podcast I'm on, but I'm so excited to share so much value here today because that's what I'm all about, just giving so much value. And let's get into it.
Sure, man. Listen, I saw your last post just now, about an hour ago. I think you posted something about being proud of entrepreneurs chasing their dreams, right? And I think that's such an amazing post. So I think, is there a reason why you're proud of these entrepreneurs? Is something in your life, back in the day that gave you this reason to be proud today?
Yeah, I think the main reason that I'm just so proud of a lot of entrepreneurs is because it takes a ton of courage and resilience to actually pursue entrepreneurship. A lot of the times when you pursue entrepreneurship, close friends and family, they don't really get it. They don't really get that you feel like you have this calling. It's hard to go against the grain of your friends and your family oftentimes. And it's also hard to build a business. I mean, if building an incredible business was easy, I mean, we'd have a lot more people doing it, and it's hard. And so for the people that just keep going after it and don't give up, I have a lot of respect for them. And so I love to share just how proud I am because I know how much it would have meant to me if I had more people who would like say that to me when I was starting. And so I just wanted to give that to the people who are, starting and getting it off the ground.
Yeah. I think people really need that sort of motivation, I guess. But tell me, Reuben, were you always in business? Is this something that you started off from day one, or did you go through a struggle to get to where you are today?
Definitely was not always an entrepreneur. In fact, when I got married 6 years ago, I had never even thought of being an entrepreneur. I was actually a professional musician. I played music for a living, and I tried a bunch of other jobs like construction and different things like that. Honestly, I was kind of the person that was jumping from like job to job to job because I didn't really figure, like I was trying to find something and I didn't know what it was. And it took me a while. And actually, it was my wife who, when we got married, she was actually an entrepreneur herself. She was working from home, doing her own coaching thing already. And I was bricklaying at the time. And I was like working 80 hours a week and she was still making more than me. And I was like, how is this possible? And so that was kind of my introduction to entrepreneurship, with just watching how my wife did it. And I decided that, maybe this is something I want to give a shot. So it's only been about just over 6.5 years at this point.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I'm also a musician. So what do you play?
There you go. So yeah, I think electric guitar was kind of like my main piece.
Okay, that's cool. So listen, I know that you've helped so many entrepreneurs reach over 10 million in sales and stuff like that. So what are some of the common patterns you've seen in these entrepreneurs that are so successful that that others are not doing?
Yeah, so we actually teach a lot of the entrepreneurs that we work with to kind of go against the grain of the kind of common advice that a lot of people are getting online. A lot of people online are being taught to do marketing in a certain way, with whether it's with funnels and a lot of like landing pages and a lot of ads and a lot of automation. We've actually gone kind of against the grain, and kind of our quote unquote claim to fame is that we've helped our clients get up to making million dollar businesses with just organic marketing, going more human centered. And so we've kind of gone away from a lot of the automation and gotten more into like human to human connections and becoming an expert at actually learning how to connect with the humans online, because social media is just basically a lot of humans who are on the other end of their phones, basically. And so starting to treat the people on the other end of social media like people has gone massively for us. Like, it's just been so successful because people are so used to being sold to or automated to or bots or whatever it is, that when you actually approach them like a real human. So there's many things that we do to help people, but we just start with that piece of like, how can you treat more people on social media like real human beings?
Yeah. I think a lot of people are hiding behind the brand, and I think that's why so many people aren't getting those sales and those conversions, because nobody trusts them, right? I mean, there's a million different companies out there. Like, why would they trust you, right? So I'm glad that you're kind of like out there and putting your face out there. Do you think that is very critical for even an e-commerce business or for any other specific business? Because a lot of people, especially our audience, think that they've got to put a product out there and then hope for sales to come. Do you think that even if you run an e-commerce business, that you should also be out there selling your product?
Great question. So I think in the e-commerce space, there's definitely some people who are doing very well with the personal brand attached with it. I have a couple friends, Jacob and Natalie. They run an incredible business. I think it does between $5 to $10 million a year. It's e-commerce. They sell a lot of clothing line, blue light blocking glasses, stuff like that. And when I chat with him, like their ads and their automation on the e-commerce side does very well, but it's their personal brand and their growing their organic content, whether it's on Instagram and TikTok, it's blowing up, and it's basically helping their profit margins stay very competitive. And so I think, I mean, as far as e-commerce goes, I mean, adding a personal brand into it, I think can be such a good fit for a lot of people. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to build it that way. But from the examples and the people that I know, it works extremely well.
Awesome, awesome. I agree with that so much. I read that you dropped out of school and you built a seven-figure business, right? I have it's a very controversial topic, but I believe I'd love to hear your opinion on this. What do you think of the school system and the school? Do you think it's doing justice for people that are entrepreneurs?
Great question. So, I mean, the school system is built for a certain type of person. And I'm never going to say that the whole school system is bad. There is a lot of people that do need to go to school to get certain types of jobs. It's just the way that the world works, that school is built for certain types of people. Now, even the education space is changing. I'm actually one of our clients. He's a coach that helps people get their PhDs online. So like the online education space is starting to really hit the in-person brick and mortar school system. And there's a lot of changes happening, a lot of stuff that's happening that's really good. But definitely a lot of entrepreneurs, I don't think, enjoy school because they don't fit a mold. Lots of entrepreneurs, they want to try a bunch of different things. And the school system is really set up for a very sequential, we're going to a certain place over multiple years. And entrepreneurs want to try a lot of different things and see what works for them. And so school system is good for some people. It's not good for other people. It's one of those, it totally depends on what you want to do.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I've seen one of your cycles. This is something you were teaching about awareness and stuff like that. I kind of know exactly what it was. But I love the content you were speaking about. Like, how do a lot of people, you spoke about funnels, but people don't realize that before they even come to the sale, there's so much that's happening in the marketing side of things. Can you speak a little bit about how do we get people that have no idea who you are to trust in you and then actually taking out the credit cards and buying from you?
Yeah, great question. So I always think about it. I like to break it down in very simplistic terms. Like when you're selling to somebody, the first thing that needs to happen is they need to become aware of you. They need to actually, in a lot of like literal aspects, they need to follow you, whether it's on Instagram or they friend you on Facebook or they connect with you on LinkedIn or whatever it is. They need to know more about you, right? And so I'm always like, for our clients, there's always a couple systems we're working on. The first system is actually what we call audience acquisition. How are we acquiring audience on a daily/weekly basis? And we actually have exact metrics for our clients. So like, let's say someone wants to have a six-figure business, right? You make $100,000 per year. If you're selling, and it depends on what's the price point of your product, if it's in the hundreds of dollars or in the thousands of dollars, it obviously totally depends. But we see a lot of people who want to get to a six-figure run rate, let's say as a coach or someone that's selling like a higher ticket product. A lot of people, all they need is a good quality 30 to 50 people following them per week. That's it. That's all they need, right? So we break it down to, okay, how many people do we need coming to our audience per week? And then we look at the strategies. The thing is with the online space is there's literally a dozen or more ways to grow an audience, right? There's different organic methods, there's different paid shutout methods, there's different paid ad methods, there's different collaboration methods, there's different PR methods, there's all these different methods. Usually what we do is we find out what's the best method for this niche, for this person with the platform that they're working on. And so we'll have an audience acquisition method, and you should always be acquiring new audience. A lot of people, your businesses have gone dry and they just aren't selling as much. because you don't have enough fresh people coming in. You have 50, 100 people a week coming into your system, seeing what you got going on. So that's the first system. The second system is really what we call heating up system, right? Before we sell these new leads that are now aware of us, we want to do a couple things. We want to provide tangible value to them. We've actually crafted it. It's kind of like our trademark. We call it value pieces. You want to send a piece of value to prospects. So you want to send them a piece of value and you want to have a conversation with them and nurture them. So you want to really have a good heating up system, and then you want to have a good selling system. You don't need to have like a complex system. It's just acquire the audience, provide value to them, and sell to them. And we do that through a couple different means, but that's the basic layout of how to get a successful business going.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it was Gary Vee that said, you post post something on Facebook, have a bunch of people watch it, and then on a retargeting ad, and then you'll never know, you believe in marketing like never before. So that's some amazing stuff there, Reuben. So you were speaking a lot about one-on-one coaching with these guys, right? I'd love to know, like, how do you find the time? I mean, you've seen 500 people, right? And you want to give them that personal touch, but how do you find the time to do one-on-one coaching with so many people on an ongoing basis?
Great question. And this is a question that I had to answer. This was about 3 years ago when I was doing all the one-on-one coaching myself. And everyone was telling me, Reuben, you have to move to group to scale your business, right? They're like, you have to move to group, you have to move to lower tier items. And to be completely frank with you, every time I got that piece of advice, it was because they thought that it was going to be easier and more profitable to scale. But I didn't think about what's easier for me. I thought about what's better for the client. Most businesses, at the end of the day, they're business-centric when they should be client-centric. And what I thought to myself is, like, if I group model, it's not going to give the customization and accountability and one-on-one support that a lot of these new entrepreneurs really need. I often say, if you're learning to ride a bike for the first time, what would be better? Someone there one-on-one with you or watching a YouTube video? What's going to be better? Or if you were to hire Tony Robbins, would you rather have Tony Robbins one-on-one coach you or be in the crowd? Well, everyone would want the one-on-one. It's better. It's just clearly better. So I had to find a way to scale my business in a one-to-one setting. So what I did is I found other entrepreneurs who had built six-figure, multiple six-figure, and even seven-figure coaching businesses. And I approached them and I was like, hey, I want you on my team. I want you to one-on-one mentor my clients for me. And so basically we still use the one-on-one model. It's just delegated, right? So I'm not doing the one-on-one anymore, but I have experts who, to be frank with you, some of these people are probably better at coaching than me. And so I've moved more into a CEO role where my team can fulfill for me, but still in the one-on-one customized fashion. So, I mean, there's multiple different ways to scale. I'm not saying that group models are bad all the time or at certain times in certain places. We just love giving our clients that one-on-one attention that we think they deserve.
Awesome. And filling up those one-on-one, I mean, a lot of people ask the question, should I go organic or should I go paid? Especially if you're starting off, I mean, you don't have as much budget to go paid and compete in that space. What is your opinion on which one should you think any startup entrepreneur should focus on, and should they stay there even after they're successful? Because should they focus on paid ads after that? So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, great question. So a big thing is realizing is most new entrepreneurs are what I would call time rich and money poor. What I mean by that is they have a decent amount of time, they don't have a lot of money. We want to think, what is the best way to acquire clients when you have a decent amount of time and a low amount of money? The answer is organic marketing, because it costs nothing to do but your time. So it's usually a better fit for new entrepreneurs. Now, there's some entrepreneurs that come to the table and for whatever reason, maybe they have thousands of dollars extra coming in monthly from different things. And then there could be some ways to get them to pay for marketing first. Now, the second reason we get people to start with organic marketing is because most people are not proven that they can actually sell their offer, right? A lot of people come to me and they're like, I really haven't sold anything. Should I do paid marketing? Well, no, you should prove that you actually know how to market and sell and actually get clients and deliver a good result before you do paid marketing. Because if you do paid marketing, I always say it's kind of like if you don't have a good engine on your car and you just try to flood it with gasoline and hit the gas pedal, it's not going to work. It's still not going to work no matter how much fuel you send it. you need to make sure the engine, your sales and marketing engine, actually works before you put the pedal down. And so most of the entrepreneurs we work with, we'll get them to probably about 10 to 20K months organically. And then some of them will move over to paid ads. But some of the things that we've been doing recently is we've actually worked on some other paid methods before paid ads, because paid ads is, the ad costs are still going up. The returns are kind of going down at this point. They still work. We still actually use them. But we've been using a lot of different paid partnership that have done a lot better. For instance, one of our clients last week, he spent $300 on a paid partnership on Instagram and made about, I think it was like $8,000 to $10,000, which is a way better return than most ads are going to get you. So after you've proven your offer, we'll start to pay for more traffic, but actually we'll probably not pay for paid ads right off the bat. There'll be different types of paid marketing. And so it's learning to get creative and how to make sure your profit margin doesn't come down because ad costs are going up. So anyways, that's kind of my take on the situation.
Yeah, exactly. And I think paid, my experience, I found that organic traffic just converts so much better than just paid traffic. It's just, I don't know, they just trust you a bit more, because you've actually spent the time to market them before actually selling them something.
Yeah.
So
that's not to cut you off, but that's another reason that you have to do organic first, is because cold traffic, people that are coming from nowhere, they are harder to sell to. And so if you can't sell to the easier people, you're never going to sell to the harder people. And so it is, the learning curve has certain sequence to it. And people that try to cut in line, it usually doesn't work out well for them.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you, I know we know that organic traffic is very important, right? So how do we do this in the sense that, do we go to groups and do we use our personal page? Do you think that's where we should be marketing, or do you think it's just providing value to groups and just, how do we get them out of the groups into our businesses,
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, if you're using Facebook, groups could be a good idea. I always like to take it a step back. Everyone's like, how do I make this very tactical? When they don't know the basics of just how to get someone to actually follow you. How do you actually get someone to think about connecting with you on Facebook or getting out of this group and joining you? Let's think about, why would actually someone want to do that? A lot of people, they try out these different strategies, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, without actually having a really optimized social media profile. The first thing is just having your own profile optimized, whether it is on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. I mean, think about the people that you follow. Look at how their profiles are set up. How are they providing value to you as soon as you join their following? So that's the first step. Now, as far as tactically, how do you get people to follow you on Facebook? Facebook groups could be a good idea. It could also be finding business pages on Facebook where your ideal clients are hanging out with. I mean, to be frank with you, Facebook organic, the only thing that people are looking to do is get more people on your friend list who are ideal clients. That's the bottom line. How can you add 30 to 50 people a week into your friend list? How do you make that happen? And then there's multiple different ways. You can post in Facebook groups. You can go into Facebook groups and just friend people. You can go and look at posts in Facebook group and provide value in the comment section. There's multiple different ways. Honestly, none of the ways are better or worse than others. As long as you're getting the right amount of people into your audience every single week, that's all that really matters. And so breaking it down into the real KPI that we're looking to hit is going to be super important.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also, when you look at their personal profile, they're more of the consumer of the product rather than the content creator of the product, So I think, what do you think, sometimes with me, I've got 4,000 friends, right? And 3,500 of them are people that we know and people that we, really doesn't buy any product from. And there's 500 of them probably that's interested in our business, right? So do you think that our personal profile should be used specifically for business more than it is for our personal consuming of it? And does it affect it in any way? Because I know if we put an ad out, I mean, it's going to be shown to the wrong people. So what do you think? Is it better?
So if you're using Facebook to grow your business, then you shouldn't be using it for your personal life. My opinion, personally, if I didn't have a business, I don't think I'd even have social media, to be completely frank with you. And when I started to grow my business, I just told my friends and family, hey, I'm not going to post anything that's going to be relevant for you. So like, I actually told them, like, I'm actually getting you out of my audience because I need room for the people that I need to serve. And so at the end of the day, social media to me is a business. A lot of people actually, they get kind of some emotional roller coaster kind of events because they attach too much personal stuff to their business. If you're using Facebook just for personal life, cool. But if you're using it for your business and you're growing your friend list with ideal clients, I would actually detox all the rest of your list. I would get all those people out, because with organic marketing, your post only gets seen by a percentage of your audience. And if it's like 80% people that'll never buy from you, that's a very ineffective marketing channel. And so my personal take is use social media for your business. If people like want to get to know you like on a personal level, you can like see them in real life, or you can text with one another. Like that's not what social media, in my opinion, is for.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So you're doing one-on-one coaching, right? So I'm assuming that most of your sales are more high ticket than low ticket, right? What's your opinion? That do you think people should focus more on high tickets, or should they go to the low ticket? Or this depends on the business.
Good question. So it definitely depends. Like a lot of people, I want to be careful about this. A lot of people sell high ticket just because they're told to sell high ticket. They're like, a business coach told me to sell this for $5,000, so I'm going to sell it for $5,000. That's a pretty bad reason to charge a certain price point. Here's the truth of the matter, that no business coach really ever, and it's funny that they never say this. Our whole world has different economic brackets, right? We have different demographics from people from different countries that can afford different things. Okay, that's just data. Now, when you're working with a certain niche, you need to figure out what's the right price point for this person to solve this problem that also has a good profit margin, right? Because we can't have a business that sells at a good price point for the right people, but then doesn't make any money, because then that business is not going to survive. And so I always think of like, hey, when someone wants to do a certain niche, let's say they're a fitness coach to busy professionals, or if they're a fitness coach to teenagers, it's going to be very different. And so I don't care what people's price point is, as long as it fits their market and it's profitable to scale. Okay. And so definitely we do teach a lot of high ticket, but a lot of our clients have one or two tiers to help people in different places. Because to be frank, there's a massive amount of people in the world that can never and will never afford high ticket. And so if we truly are in this game to help people, I think there should be options that, are high ticket, but also ones that are lower ticket. I like to have a bit of a mix to serve more people.
Yeah, I really agree with you. I mean, that the way Russell teaches it, I mean, he goes to the value ladder before somebody can actually work their way up to the top, right? So it's not only you just charging higher over time, but you also give more value over time. And I guess that's how we reach high ticket. It's not just because you want to make money. Like everything I'm listening to you say is that you are interested in the customer and making sure that they get what they need first before you get paid at the end of the day. I think that's an amazing heart to have.
Exactly. It's going back to that whole customer first approach. What's best for the end user of our product? What's going to be best for them on our free content side? What's going to be best for them on our low paid side? What's going to be best for them on our high paid side? Like, you just like, if I always say most business problems are solved when you just ask your clients, what would be best for you, right? When you ask that question, things become a lot clearer.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a lot of e-commerce, people that would follow us. What would you say if somebody's? I mean, I know that you were in the fitness business, right? But I'm not sure if you sold supplements or you sold coaching or you sold an app. So can you just tell me, like, how in e-commerce, right? How important is it? I mean, should you focus first primarily, like you're speaking with value ladder? Should we focus in the beginning selling more education type product before we lead them up to a physical product, or should we, how should we structure this whole thing, especially being in the fitness business?
Yeah, in the fitness business, here's how I think about it. If you're building a fitness business and you want to do, let's say you want to do it all, right? You want to have some digital products, physical products, maybe some coaching services. Again, the biggest reason why most young entrepreneurs don't make it is because they're not making enough cash. That's like 95% of the people that go into business that leave the business is because they didn't make enough cash. So we don't start with low tier items, because if you start with low tier items, even though that feels good, right? Let's start with low tier, then let's do mid tier, then let's do high tier. Like lots of people like that progression. It sounds nice, but it doesn't work in the real world. It doesn't work because then people have to spend 2-3 years to get to the place where they're actually making any money, and most businesses will fold by then. So we kind of flip it on its head. We get people to start with the higher end services so that you're making a livable wage. You have extra cash that you can then reinvest into some of the other, whether it's selling supplements, apparel, or whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, those things that are lower tier or products, they're going to cost money to market, and it's more of a mass scale kind of thing versus like a high ticket thing. If you want to do the volume play, you have to have money to do it with. And so we start with the high ticket. Once they're making great money there and great profit margins, we reinvest the profits into those other areas, which will then actually just boost the entire business. So we start backwards so that the entrepreneurs can actually make a livable wage while they're building their business.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Reuben. I really, really appreciate your time. Listen, I'd love to share with some of our audience, how can somebody get a hold of you or get to know more about, the marketing side of things and one-on-one coaching and all the things that you're talking about. Like, where can somebody reach you?
Yeah, totally, for sure. No, we run a Facebook group. It's called Online Coaches Uprising. It's a great group. I think there's about 200 people in there. And our main thing in there is helping the people who are really heart-centered. They really care about people, teaching them how to create incredible, profitable businesses that impact the world. And so if you guys want to join the free group, we have weekly workshops, tons of free resources, and there are lots of people who literally are getting clients, getting paid for free in that group. So again, it's just Online Coaches Uprising. I know we have some people here in the comments. Shanice, if you want to join, would definitely love to have you there.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Reuben, for this amazing interview. You are so informative, so amazing. I wish we could spend more time. But just stay on the call. I just want to chat with you a little bit once it's over. So guys, that was the Marketing Today show. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm super pumped for everyone that showed up today. Listen, I have a special gift that I want to give you guys here today. Firstly, don't forget to go and subscribe to Reuben's group. I mean, that's an amazing thing, amazing value as he's talking about. I can't wait for you guys to do that. Secondly, I just want to invite you to our free coaching session that we have. If you want to learn more about sales funnels, marketing funnels, anything of that sort, you can go to this link. It's called 10xfunnels.com/free coaching session. We'll also put it under the links in the comments once this is over. So you go ahead and do that. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little interview here today, and I can't wait for next week. We have some super cool guests lined up. I want to show you that. So this is let me just pull this up. So we have RJ Ahmed.